Make sure y'all like the stream. We're gonna get into this whole Brian McKnight situation because I think it's a lot of things going on here that I really don't like, and we're gonna talk about it. I feel like there's a lot of hypocrisy out there. I think there's a lot of people out here who are once again pushing off their trauma and their daddy issues onto somebody else, right? Unfortunately, that has become the norm, for people to try to push their issues off on other people. We're going to address this Brian McKnight situation and why I feel like he has distanced himself from his children, his biological children. But what's going on? I know it's been a while since I've been live, so make sure y'all like the stream. Your host, Jaye Black, of course. Salute to the moderators and the channel members, the people that support me every month on Patreon. Even the people that hate watch, the views still count. I hope you know that. There's a lot going on. But once again, I have to set things straight because a lot of y'all just don't get it. A lot of y'all, again, and I'm gonna talk about this because very soon I'm gonna be bringing back my basic social politics podcast, where I like to take a deep dive into the mindset of the people of today. So that's what I've been focusing on today, just trying to figure out how I'm going to put it together. But it'll be up very soon. I'm going to do 2 podcasts, okay? I'm going to do one that I'll post right here on YouTube, and another one is going to be on Patreon. That one is going to have more heavier tone. So it's going to be 2 of them. It's going to be one I put here on YouTube. The other is going to be straight to Patreon, because there's just a lot of things that, once again, I can't really speak about here on YouTube. And why not post it to Patreon? Because those people have been supporting me for months, even years. So, and I'm gonna have people actually on the podcast with me. So it's not gonna just be me talking. There'll be other people there too. Let's see who's here in the chat room. Who's here early? Because I like when people are here early, because I'm here early. And if I'm here early, then you should be here early too. All right? Let's see who's here. We got Troy. We got Pan Afro. We got Slim South, Cameron, Shakaris, Prime VA, Antonio, Eric, the Gaming Foodie, Sydney, what's up? Thomas, Matthew, Beyblader, Gerald, Chris. What's going on? Make sure y'all like the stream, man. Charm. What's going on with you people? You people love getting outraged about other people's business, and y'all claim that I'm in people's business? No. I'm not in people's business like that. I think y'all are. And it's very sad that we have gotten to this point. We've gotten to this point where y'all are out here getting mad because this man has basically cut ties with his grown children. We're not talking about children as in minors. We're talking about 20-something-year-old adults. At some point, you gotta cut bait. Hey, Goddess, what's up? Yeah, it has been a while since I've seen you. Severe, what's up? Banger was good. I want you people to understand that once you become an adult, once you get older, your parents are no longer obligated to take care of you. They're not. I don't understand this whole mindset of you're owed something. You're not owed nothing when you become an adult. You should have used Brian as a way to learn and grow. Now, I know that his children are failed musicians, and maybe that's where it comes into play. They failed at music, so they're mad, right? See, Charm, Brian. Ed, what's up? But just because you failed does not mean that your father's going to continue to hold your hand. Again, make sure y'all like the stream because we're going to get deep into this because I'm seeing people getting fake outraged over this. How about you get some healing in this Brian McKnight situation because it's exposing a lot of people with daddy issues. If a lot of you had a daddy in your life, you wouldn't be concerned about what's going on in Brian McKnight's family because Brian McKnight spoke about this a couple of years ago, and I'm going to play the video, the video clip from Brian as to why his relationship with his children is as damaged as it is. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that he's choosing another family over his children. It has everything to do with the fact that his children think that they're going to just live off of him and didn't think that at some point he would move on and become a stepdaddy to other people's children. And the reason why I'm saying that there's some fake outrage. Right. The stepmother helped them get a job and they couldn't even keep that. Brian McKnight has done everything he could for his children. And at some point, you got to let those adults go. But this situation is exposing how a lot of y'all got daddy issues and you're trying to project those daddy issues onto Brian. Brian and his wife tried to help his children. But because his children are talentless and lazy, they did not want to work. We all got lazy family members that don't want to do anything. They don't want to contribute. They don't want to be successful. It just, what can you do? But the thing that's I chuckle at is the fact that I thought stepdaddies were celebrated. You heifers, the Steve Harveys of the world as well. Y'all get on here and y'all celebrate men being stepdaddies. But y'all saying that, well, Brian is not acknowledging his other children. There's a couple of other stepdaddies that y'all support that don't acknowledge their other children. I don't see y'all going at their head. If Brian McKnight was with a black woman, would y'all be this outraged? I don't think so. I'm starting to wonder if Brian was married to a black woman, would y'all still be outraged? Is it because his wife is non-black and his stepchildren are non-black? Is that what's bothering you people? Because you people get on here with your morality and talk about, oh, he's ignoring his adult children, his real children. Y'all are mad because he's buying expensive cars for his stepkids. That's because his stepkids probably listen to him. He ain't used to that. And listen, I'm not a fan of men being stepdaddies. I've told y'all, when it comes to these single mothers, pump the brakes. Don't be trying to be Captain Save them, because you can't really save them. They have to save themselves. But I'm just saying, you seeing Brian with his stepkids, they're non-black. You see him with his non-black wife. Is that's what bothering y'all? Because I think that's what's bothering y'all. Because if Brian was married to a black woman, y'all wouldn't give a shit. As a matter of fact, y'all would be going in on his children, telling them that, oh, y'all don't want to see your daddy happy. Why are you putting his wife through this? But because his wife is non-black, y'all have a problem with this. Again, make sure y'all like the stream, man. Y'all have a problem with this because his wife is non-black. Let's be real about this. You see him with his non-black stepkids, and here y'all go with your fake outrage. You're mad because you feel like he chose that those other kids and that woman over his black children. Now I know that I can see why. I can see why these melanated women may feel some type of way, because they're just jealous when any black man ain't with a black woman and he's successful. But you males getting in on it is just I could just tell the some moistness. There is some daddy fatherlessness going on there. A lot of you guys are fatherless. You didn't have a man growing up. You grew up with your mother and your aunties. So you see the world through their eyes, right? You see the world through a woman's eyes. You don't see the world through a man's eyes. That's why it's easy for y'all to get on here and disrespect Brian McKnight, a man that y'all don't even know. Y'all don't know this man, but you're fake outraged. I thought y'all celebrated the stepdaddies. Y'all don't celebrate the stepdaddies no more, or is it because once again his wife ain't black? I just think that people need to confront their own trauma instead of getting online pretending like Brian McKnight is the worst thing ever. This is the problem that we're having here. Y'all are more outraged at the fact that he decided to be a stepdaddy to a non-black woman. Because I guarantee you, if his wife was black, most of y'all would not be this outraged. A lot of you people who don't have fathers, every traumatic thing that has happened to you, you blame a black man for it. These are the type of people who are angry. You people need to get over it. Okay, get some counseling, get some help. Okay, stop blaming black men for all your issues. Y'all claim we blame black women for everything, but every time there's a black man in the news for something, y'all think he's guilty. No matter what it is, he's the bad guy. Looking at the anger that people have towards Brian McKnight is weird. It's weird. And it reeks of I didn't have a father growing up. That's what it tells me. A lot of you need healing. Social media is not a place to heal. Y'all getting on here and you're trying to project your trauma and your insecurities on somebody that doesn't even know you. I can tell that a lot of you didn't have a father growing up. You grew up around too much feminine energy. And the reaction that I'm seeing towards Brian McKnight. So Brian McKnight is the only stepfather that has a bad relationship with his biological children. Like, seriously? He's the only father ever to have a bad relationship with his children. There's a lot of men who have bad relationships with their children who moved on to a new wife. I don't see y'all outraged about that. Some of the people that y'all support probably has bad relationships with their children and their children's mother. But because they chose the right woman with the right skin tone, it ain't a problem. If he doesn't want to be in his adult children's life anymore because of the things that they have done to him and his new wife, he has every right to do that. You just have to move on. If any relative that you have issues with, you keep your distance from that person, and maybe one day y'all can sit down and have a conversation and try to fix this. But people think that Brian McKnight is flexing on his real children when he buys his stepkids gifts and things of that nature. One thing that I think I've said this before. I just hope that Brian McKnight doesn't set himself up for disappointment with his wife, because a lot of times when you get these ready-made families, that woman could end up leaving and taking half of what you have and the kids. They're going to go with her no matter how good you treat them. Listen, people go through things, but ultimately, if that person ain't in your life, you got to move on. Getting on social media and fighting, it's like, what does that do? What does that fix ultimately? It doesn't fix anything. As a matter of fact, I think it makes things worse. I think it can make things worse. I'm hopeful that both of these, these sides are able to connect, but it seemed like they just done too much damage. I think Brian at his age, I think he's tired of fighting. I think he's tired of going through the motions with them, and he wants to move on. But the outrage I'm seeing, I don't think it's warranted. Now I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna play this video from a couple years ago, where he spoke about why he doesn't have a good relationship with his children. And I'm baffled at the outrage too. Like, there's a lot of outrage, and I'm trying to figure out where is it coming from, because again, this man ain't never done nothing to none of you people. Okay. All right, make sure y'all like the stream.
Hours to Guam. I have a concert tonight, and I got off the plane to some of the most heinous craziness I've ever seen in my life. That my oldest son, Brian, would post that I'm abandoning my children. And the reason why, I suppose, is because I have a new family. And I guess this stems from a post that I made the other day about my son, Jack, who I'm very proud of. Which isn't to say I'm not and haven't been proud of my other children, but I was proud of this one for the things that he did that day. But we'll get back to that in a second. Anyone who knows me knows over the last 20 years, 30 years now as a matter of fact, that I've been there for my children every step of the way. Until recently, and let's be clear, my two sons are 30 and 27, not 12.
Now, I want y'all to understand, this video was from 3, maybe close to 4 years ago. Might be 3 years ago. And he says his son was 30 and 27. So now you got a 33-year-old and a 30-year-old as far as his sons is concerned. And y'all on her crying tears over 30-something-year-olds. That's the thing that I'm looking at, like, y'all angry about 30-something-year-olds? Seriously?
Not 13, but 30 and 27. Now, my daughter's about to turn 18. That's another story I'll get to in a second. I've never missed a day of child support. I've never done anything adverse to my children whatsoever. I've always been there. I've always been there with advice, whether they took it or not. I've always been the sounding board, and I've always been the one that tried to help them achieve whatever dreams they were wanting to reach out for. I guess one of my only faults is I gave my children everything that I didn't have in the hopes that they would appreciate it, because I know how much I would have appreciated it.
He said he gave his sons everything that he didn't have. He spoiled his sons, and that's the thing. When you spoil these males, especially, they don't, they tend to be ungrateful. Women as well, but you can expect that from girls. But when you males are being spoiled, a lot of you males turn out to be very lazy and very jealous hearted, and you don't work hard. And I think that because he was a musician, he felt like, I have it, so why not make sure that not only was he paying child support for his children, but he was buying them things, spoiling them. But see, that's why you do have to be tough on your sons at some point, because then they're going to get entitled. Look at 50 Cent's, son, like that entitlement. Males, when they become entitled, man, it's a beast, especially when they're your sons. That's why it's easy for him to do things for his stepson, because he feels like his stepson, didn't have those things growing up. So he's more appreciative. He's done everything that Brian has asked of him and his mother has asked of him.
When I was their age, I would tell you as parents out there, entitling your children is probably one of the worst things you can do. And I know I am guilty of that. For whatever reasons, I'm guilty of that. Tough love is a tough thing as a parent to try to institute to your children, because you want to help them as much as you can, and I did as much as I possibly could. When I stopped doing that for them, BJ was 25 and Nico was 22. And it wasn't like I completely cut them off at that point. That happened much later. But I've been there. When I put them out of my house, I gave them an apartment for 2 years. And I said, guys, this is it. This is the time to grow up. I'm giving you 2 years. I'm going to pay for everything for 2 years, but you're going to have to work or do something, because at the end of those 2 years, that's going to be it. It's time to be men here, guys. It's time to grow up. At the end of those 2 years, they hadn't done any of it. It was just right around the time that Leilani and I had gotten together. Leilani was working at Children's Hospital. And let's be clear, Leilani has been one of the only people who's been an advocate to keeping us together, to keeping us having a relationship, because she wants to have the nuclear family as much as I did. And they have spit in her face at every turn. She got them jobs at the hospital, $18 an hour with benefits, and with the option of the hospital actually paying for them to go back to school. They said, and I quote, that they knew they didn't want to stop smoking and they would have to pass a drug test. And the day I had the doctors looking into it, Nico's on there, taking a big puff, which is fine. If you want to smoke, that's fine. I'm not saying that that's bad. If that's your choice, that's your choice. But what I'm telling you is that we have been advocates for them every step of the way. Now let's go to.
And I think the thing is that, unfortunately, a lot of these children, when they grow up in a single parent environment, they're going to have resentment towards any woman that's not their mother. So I don't think there's anything that his wife could have done that would have appeased his sons. I think they just made their mind up that they didn't like her. Again, make sure y'all get the likes up.
To the part where we have been estranged. Again, we talk about abandonment. I'm not abandoning them. We are estranged, which happens more often than not in this particular situation. BJ broke into our home a few months ago, and he put X's on the eyes of our wedding photos. And then he put a photo of my first wedding on Leilani's vanity. It was at that moment, and after I heard him say, and was pointed to from other friends of mine, that
you see that he said that his son, I think it said Nico, broke into his home, put crosses on the eyes of him and his wife, and then put up a picture of Brian's ex-wife, who would be Nico's mother, up there instead. I'll tell you, these single mother raised males are dangerous. Not all of them, but there's a segment of these single mother raised boys, irrational, over emotional, and they will do something crazy if another woman in their minds take away their father. And people are saying that he's wrong for distancing himself from his children, especially his sons, who he has more of a gripe with them than anybody.
I saw his posts on social media that he basically said that I was better off dead to him than alive. I was more valuable to him dead than alive. And that was the end of me dealing with him. If you look at my Instagram, you'll see that not my last video, but the video before that, 42, the song was written by Brian and I, and it was directed, the video, by Nico. And I went on and I said how proud I was of Nico at the time, and I really, really was. He did an awesome job in that video. Even before that, less than 2 years ago, these are the two gentlemen who stood up for me as my best man in my wedding So abandonment, deadbeat dad. I'll reiterate, I've never missed a day of child support. I've been there every step of the way. BJ, he talks about Jack's new car. BJ had 3 brand new cars before he was 22. But
BJ, who was Brian Jr., had 3 cars before he was 20 that I'm sure Brian paid for. How long should a father try to fix a relationship with his children? Especially children that have made up in their minds that they are going to be adversarial towards you. I'll tell you right now, my sons act up. I'm gonna give I'm gonna give time an opportunity to really fix things, and I'm gonna move on. I'm not about to waste my years trying to correct something that can't be corrected. Especially when they are adults. Because adults should know better. But unfortunately, a lot of these males who are raised by women have so much feminine energy and they're so filled with rage because they don't have any talent. They're not good at anything. They try to follow in their father's footsteps and they fail at that.
I'm not talking about material things because none of this has anything to do with money. It's about respect. Respect goes both ways. And even in family, there's a line that shouldn't and should not ever be crossed. It's crazy to me that people will just believe anything, and I thought it was important to set the record straight and let you guys know that abandonment has nothing to do with any of this. Deadbeat dad, I've been there every step of the way. And let's also remember that these kids are 30 and 27, not 12. It's time for grown men to be grown men. And I'm sorry that tough love happens to be this way. And I do wish them the best. I want them to have and to reach their dreams and their full potential. But like any other man in the world, you got to go out there and you got to take it. As far as my daughter,
and he's gonna get to his daughter, but I want to say this too. The problem with a lot of males today is they don't have the drive to be successful. They take the easy route. What's up, Poetry? They take the easy route, whether it's living off women, living with their mothers till they're like 30 something, right? They don't want to work hard. They got every excuse in the world. They want to blame racism. They want to blame this, and they go out there and they get into criminal activity, which is a choice. Okay, I don't care what nobody tells you. Criminal activity is a choice. You can make mistakes at a very young age, but you have to grow from that. And a lot of these males don't. Because, it's cool being in these streets, right? Girls like the street dudes, right? Until you locked up for a very long time and that woman that you was trying to impress done moved on to some other guy. These young males have no guidance because of the situation that they're in. Now, you got the young males that have fathers and they don't want relationships with them. And you got the males that have no fathers. Just directionless.
Daughter is concerned, her mother, if you look back at my Instagram, she was a part of this family too, with Jack and Julie and Leilani and myself. And unfortunately, along the way, a couple years ago, I got wind that there was an older cousin who was above 18 who was quite possibly having sex with her.
Okay, let me say this about him putting this out here. I would not have said this because it's nobody's business. But Brian, in his attempt to be honest and forthcoming, is a little bit too forthcoming. I don't think people need to know this. But again, this is him fighting allegations of being a deadbeat dad, right? But I wouldn't have said this because it ain't nobody's business. And if he's really bothered by it, he needs to try to figure out that situation and what's going on. But maybe, and we'll get into it, maybe it's deeper than that. Maybe there's an actual relationship there.
I called, as a father should, to the state office for children's affairs there in Arizona, and I never heard anything back. But the next thing that her mother did was to block all of us from her social media, from her phone, and completely estranged her from us. So what that told me was they didn't want me to be involved in her life that way. So to see the post that she said, considering that her mother only had a child with me for money in the first place, and I'll reiterate this, I have not missed a child support payment. She goes to one of the most incredible private schools in Arizona. So I don't know where this is all coming from, but I thought that I needed to let everybody know that there's another side to this story. You can choose to believe what you want. I thought that I would lay it out there for you. Anything that I say is actual and factual.
Again, he wants to be truthful, but I understand he got caught up in a gold digger's trap. And it happens with a lot of these famous guys. Brian's been famous since the 90s. So he's probably come across a lot of women like this, and he ended up getting one pregnant. That's going to happen, right? But at the same time, if you already have an adversarial relationship with the mother, she doesn't want you to have no say in the children's life. That's why, again, you got to be careful who you impregnate and who you have in, unprotected relations with, because if she gets pregnant and have that child, you're on the hook for child support and being a good dad, because nothing that you do is going to be good because that woman already has an adversarial relationship towards you.
All you have to do is Google Brian McKnight and Sons, and you'll see us singing all over YouTube. Go back and look at my Instagram. Go back.
Let's see.
I've ever seen.
But yeah, I wanted y'all to see this particular video I came across with Brian. I think it's sad and unfortunate what is going on. I think that Brian is in a lose-lose situation because nothing that he does people are going to accept it. They're going to paint him as the bad guy, right? But again, I don't know what he could say or do that can really alleviate any of this. People just have their own opinions. They feel like he is disowning his children. But we don't know. And it's funny how everybody got all the answers, right? All of you people got all the answers about what's going on, but you have no clue. Like, I'm looking at this one content creator. I ain't going to say the heifer's name, but she's making it to where it seems like, people are angry at him because he's giving things to his white stepdaughter. That's all these people care about. You're giving things to these white children and this white woman. It's all about the white woman, even that woman ain't white. That's all these weirdos care about. Go find your father. Some of you heifers don't even know who the father of your children are. Do y'all know who the father of your children are? Instead of getting online, projecting your own insecurity, because that's what's going on here. You got people projecting their own insecurities about white women. When you get on any platform that will allow you, you get on here and you worship non-black men, which is crazy. Oh, but you're so concerned about his black sons. But you get on here and you worship non-black men every day. You just mad because he's with this non-black woman. That's all you care about. That's all these people care about, is the fact that he's with a. Let me pull up this article. This is insane to me. Look at this. This is insanity. This is insanity. Okay, y'all can see it. Y'all can see it. This is according to Sports Keita. Social media slams Brian McKnight for not acknowledging his kids from previous marriage. You talk about the 33-year-old and the 30-year-old. Some of you heifers don't know who the real father of your children are. Y'all out here getting child support out of men that ain't even the father of your kids. And you know he ain't the father. Let's see. American singer Brian McKnight was slammed online after he did not acknowledge his kids from his previous marriage to Julie McKnight. On April 30th, 2023, Instagram page The Shade Room shared a series of screenshots where several internet users slammed the 53-year-old artist for only addressing and celebrating his stepchildren on his social media. Y'all got to understand the hypocrisy. Y'all gotta understand the hypocrisy. Y'all praise stepdaddies. Y'all love stepdaddies. Y'all will attack anybody who speaks against stepdaddies until that black man is a stepdaddy to a non-black woman. Now y'all are against stepdaddies. Y'all can't have it both ways. You can't be against stepdaddy, can't be for stepdaddies, and then say, wait. I'm okay. Well, your wife is non-black, so we can't accept your stepdaddyism. You know, you're part of the stepdaddy community, but we can't accept you because you're with this non-black woman and you're giving gifts to these non-black children. Oh yeah, his children are grown. His two sons are both in their 30s. Me and his eldest son are the same age, basically. I think I'm maybe some months older, you know. In his Instagram bio, McKnight called himself a father of Julia, Jack, and Kikoa, Mateo, and Brian. Is it Kanoa? Makoa? Is that how you pronounce it? And not his other three kids, Brian Jr., Nico, and Brianna McKnight. Moreover, in the past few years, most of McKnight's posts have been about celebrating the milestones of his stepkids, whom he shares with now wife Leliana Mendoza. All this prompted the singer to trend on social media with users slamming him. One of them mockingly wondered whether or not the thought of his other kids from McKnight's previous marriages even crosses his mind. Let's see. After McKnight's social media posts on Instagram went viral, Twitter Roddies were furious and disappointed. Several users slammed the singer for abandoning his black kids. Y'all see what it's about? As if y'all care about his black kids. Y'all get online and y'all disrespect black men on the daily. So now y'all care about his black sons? Y'all care about his black sons now when y'all get on here and y'all disrespect black men on a daily basis? Abandoning his black kids for his stepchildren and called him out for neglecting his paternal duties. Others questioned his internet captions, with one of them suggesting that his social media posts were purposely throwing shade at his ex-wife and kids. These are the same people who celebrate 50 Cent dissing his son. So 50 Cent could diss his son, but Brian McKnight's captions have y'all in y'all feels. What's good, Steven? What's up, Bronx? Make sure y'all like the stream. You got this heifer here. She says, Brian McKnight is a nasty soul. How awful is this caption? You literally already have a daughter, a black one. See? The jealousy of the white woman continues. Listen, black women, just say that y'all jealous of white women. Just say that y'all have an inferiority complex when it comes to white women. And that's why you're in your feels. Even though this girl is not white, okay? She's non-black. But y'all have this inferiority complex when it comes to non-white, non-black women. That's a you problem that you need to address. Get some therapy, get some help. Stop trying to be like white women. Stop trying to wear your hair like white women. Stop lightening your skin like white women, and you wouldn't have this complex, okay? Another heifer said, so Brian McKnight was married to Julie McKnight, had two sons, Brian Jr. and Nico with her, cheated on her with Patricia Driver, and had a daughter, Brianna McKnight, who Julie treated like her own. Disowned all of them. Got a new wife and stepkids and didn't look back. Jesus. Do y'all see it? Oh my God, the tears. The tears. Listen, I thought y'all loved stepdaddies. Where's the stepdaddy love? I thought y'all loved stepdaddies. Now y'all are, she said that he left his kids behind and didn't look back. That's what stepfathers do. They get a new family, and a lot of times, you know, not saying they did it on purpose, but they do end up sort of becoming the head of a new family. I mean, that's what happens. This is why I don't get y'all people who support stepdaddyism. but then y'all mad at him for supporting his stepkids. I mean, which one is it? Do y'all want men to embrace their stepkids, their new family, or do you not want them to? Because I guarantee you heifers are dating men who have children, and I guarantee you do not like those children. I guarantee you heifers do not like those kids the kids of the men that y'all are dating. Y'all probably don't even want them kids at your house, but you on social media with your morality. Another heifer. I just learned that Brian McKnight named his newborn Brian McKnight. He has an adult son named Brian McKnight Jr. This man is diabolical. Salute to Steven. Yeah, he's going to be Brian McKnight III, probably. Okay, another heifer says, not Brian McKnight being a trifling, deadbeat father, purposely putting your stepkid's name in your bio instead of your biological kid's name is just spiteful. We got another heifer here that says, so Brian McKnight abandoned his black children for an Asian woman who was already a single mother. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. We got to pause it. We got to pause it again. Time out. We got to get a timeout here. So y'all are upset because he's being a stepdad? They're mad because he's a stepdaddy. Oh my God. They're mad because he's a stepdad. When have y'all ever seen a situation where women are mad because a man is being a stepdaddy? Like, seriously, how many men do these heifers date that have children that these women don't even want around them? That's what we're talking about here. We got another heifer here that says, is it weird for Brian McKnight to claim he cut off his children because they're grown, yet he bought his stepdaughter, who is older than his biological daughter, a BMW for her birthday, then posted that his stepdaughter was the best daughter ever? Again, that's what stepfathers are going to do. I could tell none of you heifers have a new man in your life that's helping you with your children, because if you did, you would understand that this is what they're going to do. They're going to buy your kid stuff. Okay? They're going to buy your kid stuff. All you heifers would want a Brian McKnight in your life, and you don't have that. That's why you're bitter. Shout out to Swing Out. A lot of you heifers wish you had a Brian McKnight in your life right now, and you don't have that. That's why you're hurt. That's why you are hurting right now, because you don't have a Brian McKnight. Swing Out says, black women are queens, divas, goddesses, boss babes, black girl magic, but spend billions to look like white women. Absolutely, brother. Appreciate that. They want to be that white woman so bad. The jealousy and hatred is real. And guess what? You will never be that white woman. No matter how much you spend, heifer, you will never be that white woman. Say it with me. You will never be that white woman. No matter how much money you spend, you'll never be her. So we got this, we have this male right here. He says, I gotta remove all Brian McKnight songs from my playlist now. This shit I just read about him just totally not acknowledging his kids is wild. Bro got a new son and named him Brian McKnight and got a whole adult junior out here. Nope, F him. Look at the moist energy in this tweet. Melvin has a lot of feminine energy. This is why I tell y'all about these males with feminine energy. This guy is one of them. This guy has that feminine energy flowing through him. The energy of his aunties is all there. So you want to cancel Brian McKnight because he had a new son and he named him Brian McKnight. Okay, we got this heifer here. She says Brian McKnight is a disgrace. Disgusting what someone can do to their biological children. You can sense the child support all throughout this. That I don't get child support through all this. A lot of these women ain't getting no child support. They ain't getting no child support. This person says, I don't think people would have noticed it if Brian McKnight wasn't subbing his biological kids in his Instagram post like a psychopath. It's giving little D energy.
Melvin is melting down, lol.
Right. Melvin is definitely melting down. He ready to cancel. He's ready to cancel somebody. That's a man that probably doesn't know his dad. He don't know his dad. So that's why he's hurt. Because he don't know his dad. This person says, Brian McKnight is unhinged because his social posts are clearly designed to strike a dagger in the hearts of his ex and adult kids. Shout out to everybody that's here, man. Make sure y'all like the stream. Shout out to Swing Out Again. The male feminists are rattled. Absolutely.
The male feminists are rattled.
Appreciate that, man. Brian McKnight was previously married to Julie McKnight from 1990 to 2003. The duo shared 2 kids, Brian Jr. and Nico. During their marriage, the singer also went on to father Brianna from a relationship with his former partner, Patricia. McKnight has already fought back against claims that he was a bad dad who neglected his black children for years. In 2019, that surfaced online. He talked about the involvement in his kids' lives. I went over this video here. As you can see, this is another post. Man, I think they're mad because he's happy. You know, Brian McKnight is a happy man. I think that bothers them. But you people need to get a life. This man has moved on. His children need to move on as well. And the thing is, I don't even think his children are saying anything. It's you weirdo single mothers, because I can tell who are single mothers. A lot of you bitter single mothers who don't have a stepdad in your children's lives, you're getting online trying to bash this man because he's actually being a supportive dad to his stepkids. When y'all love stepdaddies, y'all love Russell Wilson. Y'all disrespect Future and talk about how Sierra chose up with Russell Wilson, how he's a great stepfather. He does all these things with Future Jr. But you know what I don't see? I don't see y'all when Russell Wilson is doing things, he's playing catch with Future Jr. I don't see y'all say, oh, he's subbing Future. I don't see none of that. Y'all don't think that Russell be out here subbing Future? Yes, he does. And you are an idiot if you don't believe that. Russell Wilson is a competitive guy. You don't think that he's out here posting subliminal messages to Future? Y'all think Russell Wilson is above that? No, he is not. No, he is not. Russell Wilson is not above throwing subliminal disses at Future, in his quest to be the best stepfather ever. Y'all ain't got no smoke for when he does that, but y'all got smoke for Brian McKnight. Y'all would trash Future for no reason. Talking about how, Russell is a better father for his son. For his son. Y'all know how that sounds, but y'all are okay with that. But y'all got a problem with Brian McKnight. Why? Is it because he's not with a Sierra? He didn't get with the Sierra. He got with Leilani. Shout out to Stephen Braun.
I wonder if these are the same black women that are also dissing their fellow black sister, Simone Biles, in her wedding photos, thinking face.
Appreciate that. Well, they diss each other all the time. Melanated women diss each other all the time. That's what they do, But with this situation, to me, I just think that it's making a lot of them look bad. It really is. They used to diss Simone Biles' hair, so they're not above doing that, But yeah, see, listen, Brian McKnight seems like a happy person. And there are people that don't like that. They think that he should be doing more. Y'all don't care about his kids. Y'all don't care about Brian Jr. and Nico and Brianna. Y'all don't care about them. Y'all just want to attack a black man. Every time a black man is in the news, y'all attack him. Y'all think he's guilty. You got white men punching middle-aged black women in the face, and y'all don't make not one video. No outrage. But here y'all go trying to make a situation that happened a couple years ago with Brian McKnight and his children. Y'all trying to make this go viral again because y'all love to get online and attack a black man, especially a black man that's with a non-black woman. Why do you think Passport Bros is such a sore spot for these people? Because it's black men choosing to be with non-American black women. He's with a non-black American woman and it bothers you. I mean, that's why I got this photo up, because this is what pisses y'all off. You see this black man with this non-black family. This man has every right to move on with his life. His children have every right to move on with their life. They're in their 30s, especially his oldest son. I think his daughter is in her early 20s. A lot of y'all are just attacking him because he's a black man. Let's be real. Y'all love to get online and attack. I see y'all attack black men for nothing. I'm like, damn, like what he do? And usually when you hear like, what? And they're attacking him for that is because he's a black man. He's an easy target. He's an easy target. Because y'all got daddy issues. Y'all have trauma that you've never gotten over. And you go online looking for a black man to attack. Because a lot of y'all are hurting. And because a lot of y'all are hurting, you want others to hurt like you're hurting. Y'all mad because he with this non-black woman, but y'all worship non-melanated men. Y'all get on here and you praise black women with non-black men. Y'all praise that. But when you see men like Brian McKnight with non-black women, it triggers you. Why does it trigger you? Is it because he's not spending his money on your children? On you? A lot of you heifers got kids and you still ain't changed. You still out here chasing dysfunctional men. Putting the wrong type of men in your children's life. Men that don't even care about your kids. You got heifers dating men who don't even want to be around their kids. Who won't do shit for their kids. And they're getting online trying to tell Brian McKnight that what he needs to do in his life. But y'all putting the wrong type of men around your children. You keeping the biological father away from his kids. The same people upset at Brian McKnight are the same people who always keep their children away from the biological fathers. You won't even let your children's father have 50-50 custody when you know damn well you can't support them kids on your own. You need the father to have the kids for a certain amount of time. You won't even do that. You want primary custody to spite the father, even though you don't even want them kids. You just want to keep them away from the father because it's a game to you heifers. And then you heifers get online and you run your fucking mouths about other people and their families. When you don't even want your kid's biological father around them. You keep the biological father away from his kids. But you mad because Brian McKnight is willingly staying away from his children. So a lot of you don't have any room to talk. You're disgusting. You're weird. You're mentally unstable. And that's what I see when I see y'all. I see people who are mentally screwed up. What's good, David? A lot of y'all be fighting tooth and nail to keep your kid's biological father away from them, only for you to get online and get mad at Brian McKnight for willingly staying away from his adult children because his adult children has wronged him in so many different ways. When y'all are out here willingly trying to keep your kids away from their father. See, these are the type of people that we are dealing with. None of y'all care about Brian's children. None of y'all. If they weren't Brian McKnight's sons, y'all be online talking about how they're bullet bags and dusties, but they're not bullet bags and dusties now. So they're good people that needs a father now. The black men that y'all disrespect, they need fathers too. You people are weird. You people are disgusting. And I'm happy that you're unhappy because you don't deserve happiness. You deserve to be miserable because you are a miserable person. A lot of you heifers are miserable and you deserve it. Look how you live your life. And you got the nerve to get on here and try to disrespect this man. And you and your effeminate male
These cow-faced
friends
cow treat a black man like dirt.
Appreciate that, swing out. Yeah, these women love trashing black men, but now you care about his black son? Since when? Y'all get on here and y'all disrespect black men every day. Y'all get on here and y'all disrespect black men on the daily, but you want me to believe that you care about his sons? Y'all won't even let y'all sons see their father. Y'all keep your sons away from their dad, but you want to get online and play the morality game. This is a game that you heifers always lose because you don't have morals. You will sell your morals for a BBL and some attention. This to me is a lot of fake outrage. That's what this is. And you ain't fooling me. You're not fooling me at all. I can see right through the fakeness. A lot of y'all are fake. You're fake, you're fraudulent, you're losers. You don't even want your children in their father's life. And y'all getting on here, you and your effeminate male buddies with no masculine energy in their life, they're getting on here trying to disrespect a man they don't even know. Shout out to David Watts. He says these people need Jesus. Absolutely, they need Jesus. They need a lot as far as the word of God because they ain't got it in their life. I know. I just got it, David. Appreciate it. They also need, psychological counseling, which is something that these women need more than anybody. Let me tell you men something, man. If you haven't had kids already, be very careful who you have kids by. Live your life the way you want to. Brian McKnight's children are grown. He doesn't owe them a damn thing. He's done a lot for them. That man has done a lot for his children. And they just don't. They don't seem to, they don't seem grateful. I know if I had kids that weren't grateful for the things I've done for them, I wouldn't want nothing to do with them either. Because I'm not trying to raise spoiled, entitled, nothing. But once them kids are grown and I've done everything I can do on my end, there's nothing else I can do for them. But a lot of you heifers being angry and trying to cancel him, these people are hate watching his Instagram. These heifers are literally hate watching his Instagram. They're literally sitting on his Instagram waiting for him to post something with his family so they can look at the description, the description of it, just so they can get mad. Like, who does that? Who does that? Who sits on somebody's Instagram just to hate on them? Who does that? All right, seriously. Y'all do that because you don't have no life. This is what you have been reduced to. You have been reduced to hate watching another man's life that you don't know. And you expect me to have any semblance of respect for you? This is why men are leaving to go overseas. This is why men are getting their passports and getting the fuck out of here. Because look at what they have to deal with. They have to deal with y'all. And let me tell you, single moms, something that's in your feels. If a lot of y'all weren't attractive, a lot of y'all would be out here lonely too. Because your attitude is screwed up. That's why men are saying, forget this. We're not wifing you up. We're going overseas. We're done. And y'all are making all these goofy videos, trying to fight this narrative, windmilling, losing. The verbal windmilling I'm seeing from females and males, because you got you windmilling males. Y'all out here windmilling for these heifers, trying to save them by saying that men shouldn't go overseas and something is wrong with men. Trying to push this narrative, right? When a lot of these women over here don't even take care of themselves. A lot of these women over here are not girlfriend material. Most of them are not even side chick material. They're not even side chick material. Like, a lot of guys have to reevaluate whether they want you to be their side chick. Because a lot of y'all can't even handle being a side chick. So, listen, gentlemen, get as far away from these heifers as possible. You don't owe them a damn thing. And when you've done everything you can for your children and they still screw up, it's on them.
Airplane, 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 airplane. Bye bye.
Absolutely. Bye bye. Appreciate that. Brian has done everything he can for his children. He doesn't owe them shit. He doesn't owe them anything. I don't get what the outrage is. Why don't you let the kids of your, why don't you let the father of your children be in their children's life? Y'all don't do that. Y'all spend more time fighting your baby father than that should allow them to be in the children's life. Listen, man, the Captain Save-A-Horn that's going on, y'all, they trying to keep men from leaving. Leave. There's nothing here for y'all. There's nothing here. Yeah, even the side chicks don't know how to be side chicks no more, man. And let me tell y'all something, man. You single mothers, I really think y'all are mad because he found a woman that he's happy with and that he gets along with his stepkids. Because y'all date men that don't get along with your stepkids. Y'all don't know what it's like to have a man that actually likes your stepkids. Like y'all date men that dislike your stepkids. They dislike your kids. Listen, being a stepfather is a thankless job, man. It really is. Maybe he's truly happy. And I hope it works out for Brian because, women, they change. The woman may want to be with you today, but tomorrow she may want something different. That's how it can be, man. So thank y'all for being here. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. Shout out to the people that donated tonight. Thank you. Moderators, channel member, patrons. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Patreon. I'm going to be doing Patreon exclusive podcasts sometime soon. I'm going to do 2 podcasts. One for YouTube and the other one is going to be on Patreon exclusively. I'm bringing that back. Make sure y'all subscribe to all the channels too. I think some of y'all are not subscribing to all the channels. Like y'all asking me about topics that I've already done. Like that's, I've been nice about it, but I'm not always going to be nice about it. I'm going to start really wondering, why are you subscribed to me again if you're not subscribing to all the channels? But thank y'all for being here. We had to set some things straight, and hopefully people understand where I'm coming from. I know some people aren't, but who cares, right? All right, people, thank y'all for being here. I'm going to sign off. I'll see y'all on the next live stream, hopefully soon. Okay. And all right, y'all take care. All right.